Hey guys, welcome to Tell It to Trevor. Today on my podcast, I have.
The Mad Hatter, Rafael Delgado.
Alright, so what sparked your interest in the professional wrestling industry?
Hmm. Now, what exactly do you mean by that? A superstar that interested me, or just something about pro wrestling that grabbed my attention? That's a very wide question.
Yeah. The second one.
The second one, hmm, the craziness.
The
You never
craziness?
know what to expect. It's it's so invigorating. It's so fascinating. You never know what's going to happen, and even when you think you do, you're wrong.
Yeah. Um, who were your wrestling mentors growing up? Like the wrestlers you idolized as a kid?
The Rock Dwayne Johnson, or sorry, I said his name wrong. The Dwayne Rock Johnson. There we go. That's better. I just
Uh,
loved the way he could carry himself on the mic. Kurt Angle was another phenomenal one, in ring as well as outside. And as I got older, Bray Wyatt
yeah.
and The Undertaker.
Which all those guys know to put on a good story and everything. Which I loved it when Bray opened up about his personal life before his passing, sadly passing.
May he rest in peace.
Right. Um, how did you get your start in the wrestling world? Like, like the school wise, or
So I was just at home in Wonderland, drinking a nice cup of tea, when a friend of mine sent a carrier pigeon my way,
okay,
telling me that his school was doing a open ring. Now, I always told myself, to be mad, you have to be unpredictable. And at that moment, I was a bit predictable, not going to lie.
yeah,
But as I sat there contemplating my life decisions and my tea was getting cold, I said, oh, why not? This could be fun.
what was your first wrestling match like?
Hmm. As bad as the Queen of Hearts love life.
Okay,
Yeah. Yes.
as a big Alice in Wonderland that have seen all the movies, I understand.
Oh, thank you for knowing because not many people do. She's a handful, literally and figuratively.
Yeah. Um, what are your goals for the future in the wrestling world?
To bring a little madness
Okay.
to the community. I've noticed I've noticed as of late, everyone seems to be the same. They want to
Yeah.
be big, buff, tough, badass man. There's there's no personality. There's no charisma. There's no different. I am getting over my own words. There's just no difference amongst certain wrestlers in locker rooms. They all seem to be the same in different sizes.
Okay. Can you describe the Mad Hatter for someone that has not seen you wrestle before?
Hmm. Think Deadpool if you were in pro wrestling. Best way
Okay.
I could describe it.
Cool. I can see that. As I've seen a bunch of your matches online on this famous YouTube.
Oh, the land of tubes.
Yes. In which I know I think in March I'm going to be coming down to one of your shows.
I will actually be in Georgia twice in March. March 1st for Lariato Pro, and then March 8th for Tri State Championship Wrestling. It will be their first show.
Okay. Which I might need to go to both of those.
I will be in the main event against Drake Xavier and Jay Steele for the AMP Grand Championship.
All right. And then your other show?
Lariato Pro, where yours truly will be tag teaming with his good buddy Daniel Starling to take the Lariato Pro tag team titles.
Okay. Can you share a memorable moment from your wrestling career?
Hmm. There's quite a lot. Hmm.
We got all the time in the world. So if you want to name them all, go ahead.
Hmm. Well, there was a time that I was a part of a faction known as The Set with my coach, Francisco Chiazzo. In the middle of the match, we had our opponent in the corner. I went to give him a shoulder tackle to the stomach and accidentally punched my coach in the dick.
Okay.
There was also a moment where I won the WWN Proving Ground Tag Team titles with an old friend by the name of Nick Quinones. Sadly, around that time, we call it the Lost Tapes era because the man who was in charge of production did not do his job very well. So the only only bit of media that we have of that match is on my Instagram page because I decided to go live.
Okay. Is there any other moments?
There will be more to come. I can't name any right now, but I can tell you right now the moments that I'm going to be creating from here on out to the future are going to triumph over the ones in the past.
Okay. Can you describe the feeling of winning your first championship?
It was surreal. It
Surreal.
was very surreal.
How do you handle the mental and emotional aspects of wrestling?
With a nice cup of tea,
That's a cup of
some
tea.
some soft music, and isolate myself from the world.
Okay. All right, and we're about to start this segment called Trev Shock, the land of shocks. I will put it that way. All right, so you got 50 seconds to answer 6 questions. A little bit of a challenge. It's like those rapid fire questions that you're in meetings.
Oh, yippee skippy, I love these.
All right, so after I read the first question, I will start the timer. So, best of luck. The record is 35 seconds remaining. So the goal is less than 25 seconds.
Okay.
Favorite pre-show snack?
I don't eat before show.
Pre-song that you listen to before the show?
Mad as a Hatter from Batman the Animated Series.
Favorite wrestler growing up?
The Rock.
Favorite sports team?
The Knicks.
Favorite color?
Red.
Favorite type of music?
Classical.
Classical. So you beat it with 23 seconds remaining. It's always next time.
Rats.
Because I know for sure I'm going to try to get you later on in the year again when you have more memorable moments to share,
Oh, there will be quite a lot.
especially since we'll be meeting up in March.
Looking forward to it.
Yep. What are the biggest challenges of being a professional wrestler outside of the ring?
The diet. I know
The
most people have willpower and they have more control of their meal plans and everything like that. But let's face it, we're all human. As much as we love to work out and look our best, a lot of us can't say no to a cookie or to a beer or to a glass of whiskey. We all have our guilty pleasures.
How do you feel about the business side of wrestling and the way that promotions shape the storylines?
As of late, it's gotten a lot better. Now, in the indies, there are some promotions that handle it very well, and some that just they really don't do anything at all. And they leave
Yeah.
it up to the talent to do it. But when the talent tries, the promotion says, that's not what we want, with no direction whatsoever.
If you could wrestle any legendary wrestler from the past, who would it be and why?
Bray Wyatt.
Bray
The reason
Wyatt?
for it is because that man's mind was absolutely phenomenal. And I
Yes, it
know
is.
that if I spoke to him beforehand, he could give me so many pointers, tips, and advice on not only how to present myself more, as well as adapt and evolve,
Yeah.
because that is important in this business.
Yes, it is. If you could attend a wrestling seminar with any wrestler, who would you pick?
Mark Calloway, The Undertaker.
Okay. And why?
I've been listening to the man's podcast. It's actually quite popular here in Wonderland, and he just has the mind for storytelling. He has the mind for creativity. He just gets it,
Yeah.
and you can't help but respect the man.
If you could have a wrestling legend as your mentor, who would you choose?
My wrestling father, my coach, Francisco Chiazzo, may he rest in peace. I wish he would come back.
What's your opinion on the wrestling crossover events with other sports and entertainment industries?
Oh, I absolutely love it. Pro wrestling is getting the love and the respect that it once had. Because for the longest time, pro wrestling was looked as a joke. Though it was still popular, it wasn't as popular as it was in the early 2000s, in the 90s, in the 80s. For a while, if you liked pro wrestling, you were ridiculed heavily. Now, everyone loves it. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
not gatekeeping, I'm not judging anyone. I encourage it because pro wrestling is everything.
Yes. What advice would you give to an aspiring wrestler?
Don't.
Okay. I've heard that a lot on this show. Can you talk about a significant rivalry you had and how it helped you grow as a wrestler?
Hmm. Hmm. That would have to be against my old friend Nick Quinones. Shout out to the King of Battle. See, when he and I had a storyline, a program, it was the first time I had ever been a heel, or as most people who don't know the wrestling terms, a bad guy.
Mm-hmm.
And I did not know how to carry myself, what to exactly do per se. And he helped me out tremendously. Now, besides him, it would have to be a tag team known as Financially Stable. Those two men helped me as a performer tremendously, and I cannot wait to share the ring with them once again in the future, now that they're making a comeback.
What was it like working with a particular wrestler that you really clicked with in the ring?
Hmm. The Dirty Man Devin Diaz. That ooh, the Queen seems upset. I'm sorry. You're going to hear her quite a bit. She's I believe someone has upset her very badly. Anyways, it would be the Dirty Man Devin Diaz. He is a phenomenal talent. He is young and he needs to be signed within the next 2 years. Every
Oh,
time I get in the ring with that man, he turns up the intensity, he turns up the aggression. He lets me know why I love pro wrestling and why I need to step my game up.
Can you describe your training process and what was the most challenging part of learning to wrestle?
Cardio.
Cardio?
Cardio was the toughest due to the fact that when I started, I was told that the first thing that would go out are your legs. And that is very true. Within your first 2, 3 days, your first month, halfway through training, you're going to have noodle legs. Regardless of how much you work out your legs outside or you stretch, your legs will give out.
Yep. Um, what hobbies bring you joy outside of the wrestling world?
Brewing tea, obviously working out like most others, reading a nice book, and playing video games.
Video games?
Yes.
Okay.
Ooh,
What is your favorite gear that you have ever had made?
that would be the singlet that I wear when I wrestle. I plan on getting more made down the road. I have some ideas drawn out that I need to send to designers so that they can redesign it, perfect it, and then I will get it made. And I have a lot of ideas coming, and it is very, very exciting.
Could we see the Mad Hatter with his own deck of cards?
Oh, that's in the works.
Good.
That's in the works. I'm not going to say any spoilers, but it's in the works.
Okay. And then speaking of cards, I will be soon getting trading cards made for everybody that's been on the show.
Oh,
So
lovely.
the Mad Hatter will get his own trading card.
Thank you.
No problem. And then we'll be doing a certain, like the WWE style cards where they have certain ones that are signed.
Okay.
Because I know a lot of people enjoy collecting those as they go and spend like 35 bucks on a box of cards.
Yeah.
Or in my case, baseball cards or basketball cards, which are now really hard to find.
Which is interesting because they used to be everywhere.
Right. You can find them at Dollar Tree, CVS, Walgreens.
Mm-hmm.
I went to 3 different stores, never seen one.
Hmm.
Only college baseball.
Hmm. If I find any, the first time that I see you, I will
Mhm.
have a nice stack. Just name
Okay.
this.
Basketball, I guess.
Okay. I'll see what I can do.
And let's hope your Knicks do a pretty good job this the rest of the year for basketball.
Fingers crossed.
Because my team suck. AKA the Charlotte Hornets.
Oh, I am so sorry. I am
Even
so
though
sorry.
I had to go bandwagon, so now I'm rooting for the Bucks. So
Okay.
I upgraded.
That's fair. And for all those watching this or listening and know that I wear all green and say, oh, he's a leprechaun. He's got to love the Celtics. No. No, 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 no.
I don't see a 4-leaf clover anywhere. So,
Oh, the queen is upset. I apologize. You're going to hear quite a bit.
well, we are almost done with the episode. So, where can they find you on social media?
You can find me on Instagram at Rafael underscore Delgado 91, as well as on Threads under the same username. You can find me on Twitter. It is not X, it is still the land of tweets at PLA underscore Thanos. That can be explained another day. And you can find my business page on Facebook at Rafael Delgado. Just look for the man in the sexy green jacket and the black top hat. That was the early, early days of the top hat before it was made. Yes!
And then, guys, this is what his Instagram looks like, so make sure you guys go check it out. And then thank you, Rafael, for being on the podcast today.
Thank you.
And then, guys, we are doing a giveaway. I know everybody loves free stuff. If you don't
Oh,
love free stuff, what are you doing?
you're not living.
Right. So we have a separate contest for the fans, and then we have one for wrestlers. So there's 5 designs. I had a professional company design 5 different logos.
Ooh.
All you got to do is enter it in, pick which logo, your shirt size, or if you're at WrestleCade this year, spoiler alert, you can buy them there.
Oh,
Could we see the Mad Hatter at WrestleCade this year?
possibly. If I apologize, I never like to say the words I never like to say or like more than once or twice. But possibly, if I can survive today, because the queen seems hysterically laughing, and that's never a good sign.
Okay. And then all you guys got to do is select your shirt size, which logo, and then your name and your social media.
Oh, okay.
And then
Oh, sorry.
thank you to the sponsors of Apple City Championship Wrestling, Wrestling Evolution, and TBD Wrestling.
Those promotions, give me a call. Shoot me a message. Send me a tweet. Carrier pigeon. I love it all.
Or just send Trevor.
There you go.
Because we talk, basically almost every week.
That is phenomenal.
Yes, and I'm glad I have you as a new friend. So,
As am I.
see you guys next time where we will have, I don't know who. Haven't looked that far in the day.
Till next time, everyone. Ta ta.